Hello, thanks again for your interest in the Immigrant City Street Ministry. I'm its organizer, Ralph Galen. I'm a community minister affiliated with the Unitarian Universalist Church of Wakefield, Massachusetts, which believes in this work of harm reduction and prison reentry. I'd like to talk about addiction. The majority of the unhoused we associate with in the Merrimack Valley, Massachusetts, mostly in Lawrence, north of Boston, are substance users. The substances of choice are fentanyl, a very potent opioid, much stronger than heroin, cocaine, and alcohol, and other drugs. But these are known to be very addictive substances. And addiction is when someone does something that is detrimental to their well-being, and they find it hard to stop. They keep doing it. It begins with the universal human drive to make one's life more wonderful, and it gets out of hand. For instance, eating sugar, salt, and fats, which taste great to our modified palates and lead to obesity, heart disease, and stroke. Americans exceed world averages on obesity. It is famously hard to go on a diet and exercise and lose weight. Sugar is said to be 10 times more addictive than cocaine. Now, people don't become obese overnight, but worse, they tend to steadily gain at least 3 pounds a year. In 20 years, that's a lot of weight. People don't generally change their habits overnight. There are very few Damascene moments, as when St. Paul was struck blind on the road to Damascus, where he had an appointment to persecute new converts to Christianity. He seemed to have changed overnight. Admittedly, recovery options are insufficient. There's not enough of them, and they're too short to be effective. A substance user might go to detox or recovery 10 or 20 times before they stop using. An epiphany might take a decade. I offer that the way we change is more like how a monarch caterpillar becomes a butterfly. A caterpillar, after eating your garden plant leaves, winds up attaching itself to a twig, and it weaves a cocoon around itself. Inside the cocoon, there isn't a baby monarch waiting to pop out. What happens is that the caterpillar digests itself and becomes a kind of soup. In the soup, there are specialized cells that then orchestrate the construction of the butterfly. So it is with people. We get into the soup from time to time, and with the ingredients we have on hand, build a better life. We are the same person, but with a different orientation. From diffidence, we grow in confidence. From stubbornness, we find our resilience. Our anger is converted into determination. And we don't do this by ourselves. From birth, we are interconnected and need one another. Substance use breaks that connection. Recovery restores it. I believe we're all addicted, but we don't realize it. The greatest addiction is to ignorance, to cling to outmoded thinking. It takes a village to raise a child, and it takes a village to help someone become clear and discover their innate sense of empathy and compassion, starting with themselves. Everyone needs support when they're in the soup. Harm reduction minimizes the damage while the person is in that soup, the damage they do to themselves, and in peer recovery, we help a person grow into their better possibilities for living on their own terms. Thanks for connecting with us. If you can, please donate and spread the word.